Hey, hello, and what's up? My name is Daryl. Today is a Wednesday, December 7th, 2022. I am I'm coming to you after, of course, very sad times. As my father, 74 years old, he passed away just a couple of days before Thanksgiving this year, November 22nd. I wish him all the well on his ride to heaven. I thank him for his service, is that he has kept us alive, safe, he's kept us well. My father was a great provider, he was a great man. He always kept a roof over our head, he always kept a hot meal on the table. He was never one shy with the discipline, so you best be on your toes. Try not to do too many wrongs, as we all have soft butts. Some of us softer than others. There was a length of time my father and I we didn't live together, you know. As as sons and daughters, you know, you grow up, you get jobs, you have careers, you have families of your own. And with that, you move upwards, you move onwards. You hope that that your parents have taught you well enough so that when you do make that jump, when you do go out the door, when that apartment comes, the girlfriend happens, you know, when two becomes three, you celebrate your first child, you begin a family. You can't be expected to live under the same roof as your parents. And that life, it don't last forever. It doesn't. But through the years, you keep in contact, you visit, you make phone calls. I called my father lots over the years, many, many times. Had very interesting conversations. Not too many years ago, through a bad event, I was forced to, myself and my son were forced, out of our apartment. We had no place to go. You know, Kyle and myself, we went to live with my father. And this is the early part of 2017. And then when we went to live with my father, we didn't have anything. We couldn't take nothing with us. It all had to stay in the apartment. We had no clothes. I didn't even have a pair of shoes on my own feet. We had no means or no way to go to get our items. We started over, pretty much from zero that day. But we started over that day, not just in that way, not just in that we didn't, in that we were, had suddenly become homeless, but we started kind of fresh in other ways. It had been many years since I had been at my father's house any length of time. In fact, not since my mother's passing in 2016. I know that it had been 4 years. My mother's death was particularly rough on me. And with my mother's death, it also drove a permanent wedge between my sister Melanie and myself. It changed a lot of things, and what was to come. But however, in 2017, when Kyle and I went to go live with my father, we were able to share with him meals. We were able to share with him conversations. We spent time out in the yard and we talked. We had barbecues. We cooked food and we talked of games We talked of activities that came and went. We talked of people who came and went. We talked of his brother John, who had passed away not too many years beforehand, and also of his sister Diane, whom through a tragic accident we lost. It's said that my father, that he doesn't love me, and that he didn't, in fact. And I find that really hard to believe. I find that really, really hard to believe. My father, Kyle, and I, we shared in lots of really nifty times, lots of talks. My father knew that his time was running short. You know, he knew that he was coming into, the medical issues, which eventually consumed him. He knew of the Parkinson's when we lived there. It was already beginning. The shake was very evident. And his appetite, the things that he ate. There was a short length of time we lived there when my father lived completely off of Subway subs. For 30 days, that's all he would eat. The same sub. He would buy it, and 3 times a day, he would eat a sub. And that's what he went and bought. You know? I was able to keep up with his yard. I would go out and mow. He had a satellite piece of property on Hall Ave. It was in the middle of other properties. And Kyle and I would go over. We would spend hours over there. Cutting back the brush, making sure that the road stayed. But above all that, we would share memories as we'd spend time there with Grandma. Or with my mom, Kyle's grandmother. And we would sit out in the backyard. We would shoot the BB guns. We would cook out. We'd spend the night over there in a tent. And for us, we had a lot of love. We were very good with each other. My father was a cigarette smoker of many years, and he didn't paint the inside of the house for a long time. You can imagine what, 30 years of smoking cigarettes enclosed in a house would do to your walls. I have pictures I could show you, and in time they may even appear on, an upcoming blog. I have thousands and thousands of pictures, videos, and screenshots, which cover many, many, many years. I'm all good with all that. What I'm today is it's spoken. I don't want to click between pictures and of screenshots. I'm not. I don't think today that would be the thing. In fact, today I would want to sit, and take a moment, and I would like for you all to meet a person very special to me. In fact. And it's been 11 years. It's been 11 years I've been raising this one over here. I started raising this rascal. He was 2. He was a wily one, he was. Oh, yeah. He liked trees almost as much as the birds and the squirrels did, which was cool. I was good with that. And as you can tell, we have had many adventures out in the woods. I don't take him special places or nothing really cool. You've never been to Mount Marcy before, right, Kyle?
No, not at all.
You've never done that before, have you?
No, it isn't like I haven't done it twice. Not at all.
You've been to the top of that mountain, a couple of times, huh? Pretty cool. Very, very cool.
It was a pretty fun trip.
And we've had our fair share of adventures. I think that I've done pretty good. I've raised my son for 11 years. My income has been 850, which it just went to 850. As there were many years before that when it was under 800. But then I've raised my son completely, almost within the same couple of addresses, and all within about $850 ish a month. I'm disabled, that's what I receive for my income. I figured honesty be the best policy here. So, Kyle, you used to go over, we ended up homeless, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta say yes or no, buddy.
Yes.
And, when we became homeless, where did we go?
To Grandpa's.
To Grandpa's, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of Grandpa's house? Did you like it?
Yes.
Pretty cool out there in the country, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah? What'd you think of Grandpa?
Really nice man. Loved him dearly.
I know you did. Have you been able to see your grandpa at all within the last couple of years before he passed away?
No.
You haven't?
No.
No? Was there any hostility when you were there that would make it so that you couldn't see your grandpa? I mean, did he seem mad at you?
No.
Did he seem mad at me?
No.
No, not at all, huh? So why is it that you suppose that we were, why do you think we were made to go 2 years? And you wasn't allowed to see your grandfather, I wasn't allowed to see my father. You know why? Do you think Grandpa brought that on?
No.
No, I don't think so either. No. Now, we were living there. Grandpa's house had a lot of the nicotine and the smoke on the walls. Did either of us make any help in there or effort to fix any of that?
Yes.
Yeah?
You painted the whole kitchen one day.
Yeah.
You scrubbed all the nicotine off the walls and repainted it.
Did we keep up the yard and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
Now, as with the other property, didn't we keep having issues with the neighbors? Were they over there
Over there, always running their ATVs through there.
tearing up the property?
Yes.
Yeah, trespassing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they
Now,
were.
did we try to stop that from happening?
Yes, we put trespassing signs all down Hall Ave.
Did we talk to the landowners before we put those trespassing signs? I mean, that's owned by my father, my Uncle Frank, so we would probably have to speak to both of them. Did we speak to both Frank and Holton on this issue?
Yes. You even made it a mission to ride to Chickaningo to go have a conversation with your Uncle Frank.
Yeah. No, while living there, wasn't any issues at all between anybody living there, huh?
No.
No. We all got along, we all liked each other, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been there since
2017.
2016. 2016 was a rough year, Kyle.
Yeah.
2016 was definitely a rough year, buddy. I love Grandma. I love Mom. My mom, your grandma, she was awesome. Great person. You and her used to walk down the Hall Ave Road over there together. She'd let you come out for the weekend and watch you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember her taking you to the Fort Ricky Game Farm or not, but that was really cool.
I remember it slightly. Yes. But I was young at that age.
You were younger, yup. Yup. My mom was she was in and out of nursing homes. As she had the shake and the tremble in her hand, when she was on and off the whole breathing thing. As long as she had like the assisted breathing here and there, she was pretty good. And it was something that she used regularly at night when she slept.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mom was pretty comfortable and stuff, and she was fighting that pretty good. She was doing really well with it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, come 2016, Melanie decided she wanted to go visit Mom. That's what she said to me. She wanted to go visit. So I says to her, okay. I haven't been up to the nursing home to see my mom for a little bit. It'd been a week or so. So I said, yeah, sure. You know. And I rode up with her. And when I got there, I was met with what became a life changing situation. And it's plagued me. It's 2022 now, and every night that I go to bed, every night that I go to sleep, I have a repeat nightmare. And it's horrible. It replays over and over in my head. It wakes me up sometimes. Sometimes it don't. Sometimes it warps into my following day a little bit. It causes me irritability. But on that day, my sister Melanie decides that she wanted to go visit my mother, and then so I say okay, and I ride to the nursing home with her. Now while there, Melanie takes me in to talk to my mom, and I believe you were with me when we went that night to pick her up.
No, I don't remember.
But anyways, we went to go visit, and it turned into Melanie going to the nurse's station to sign my mother out of the nursing home against medical advice, AMA. And the whole while, my mom asking the doctors to make her stay, asking them questions that if she leaves, is her life in jeopardy? These were questions that my mother asked the staff that night, asking them if she can return, asking them if she can get somebody to bring her back if they will let her in. These are questions that my mother asked me that night. And at the same time, I was found out that she was to be signed out AMA. And she was. But then, my mother passed away Christmas Day-ish, late Christmas Day night. She was found with a leg out of bed and what appeared to be trying to get help or to breathe or even to live. My mom didn't want to die. She wanted to live. She told me that she wanted to live. She asked me to bring her back.
She even sent you a voice message saying how scared she was by going there.
She sent me a voice message as well. She sent me a voice message the night that I came home. Or the day that I came home. That night she passed away. Sent me a message begging me. I didn't have a ride. I didn't have a way to take her back. I went there to the house to bring her back. My father and my mother. Or my father and my sister there. Melanie, a very evil person. As I said, I lived there from 2017 to almost 2019. And a will that I've seen and been told about my entire life. However, I received a copy of a will today that was dated in 2019. It was dated after I was there with my father. after many conversations with him, after 2 full years of living with him, with my son. We shared meals, we did activities together, and that there was no hate, no dislike. There was none of this. And that when Melanie came back into that house, she isolated that man. In the beginning, I begged and pleaded with everybody. I called CPS because his welfare, his medical needs weren't being met. He wasn't being fed. And everybody, you just turned your back. I begged and pleaded for help. You turned your back. All I was there to mow yards. How was I going to steal a lawnmower, people? Where was I going to drive it to? I was going to drive the lawnmower from my father's house all the way back to Canastota to a place where I didn't have a yard? Did any of what she told you make any sense whatsoever? Or did it just not make sense and you disregarded it? Did I have asked right from the beginning? Going all the way back 2 years ago, when I was told I couldn't see my father. And that she went to the Bob Benson Law Firm located in Chittenango, New York. I'll blow up your spot here on video for the whole world to know that you are definitely the shadiest and the crappiest law firm ever to exist. Anybody coming to see you should definitely go someplace else. Your law firm sucks, okay? Period. You issued Melanie a paper for the son to stay away based on a lie on a lawnmower because she said that I was going to steal a lawnmower. I was going there to mow my father's yard. Melanie flipped right out on me. Do you know that since then she's sent psychological attacks to anybody and everybody that would listen to her? She's been trying to get the police here saying that I'm beating up Kyle and that I'm doing horrible things. When that this has gone on not only, this has gone on with 2 years overlapping, being told that I can't see my father, that Kyle can't see his only living grandparent. Have any of you been faced with the questions, why can I not see Grandpa? Why do I have one grandparent and I can't go see him? Why is Aunt Melanie doing what she's doing, Dad? Do any of you have these questions? Or any of you guys ask these heart-ripping questions? When the only thing that you can do is sit there and look your child in the eye and say, I don't know. I don't know why she's doing it, man. I don't know. And that I've tried over and over for 2 years to send messages to speak to. I receive a copy of a will dated 2019, which reads nothing like the will that I have come to know over the years. I mean, my father was pretty specific on what he wanted. He was specific, and he let us know this. He let me know that, hey, look, man, you and your sister, you guys ain't good with each other. You guys fight all the time. You guys are horrible. Look what you do to each other. I'm not going to pass away, and leave a house to 2 people that I know are going to be horrible to each other over this house, the property, whatever's here. He's made it very clear to me that the house is to be sold. That's not to be kept. He does not want that house to be kept. Sell it, split it, move on with your lives. Reflect, remember his, but move on. The selling of the house, split between Melanie and I, it separates us. It may even put us in different states or time zones. Who knows, maybe what he was thinking then was actually, the remedy to our lifelong issue, and we just didn't, we didn't know, you know. But I receive a will in 2019 now that says Melanie can have every bit of that down there, and that my father hates me, and that I've been excluded from my family and from my will, and that my father hates me. So if anybody at all has watched this, anybody at all, you know, did my father hate me?
No.
Was that it? I have a GoPro or a GoFundMe. Nobody shared it. Nobody commented. The depression over my father, it's buried me. It's taken away all of my ambition, all of my motivation. It's had me in mental health appointments. But none of you knew this. None of you knew what was going on. Nobody. I don't receive any phone calls. I don't receive any text messages. I don't receive any visits. Nothing. You know? I'm told my father hates me and pretty much believe that anybody else does. There are a couple exceptions, and, for the couple of y'all, please don't take offense to this video because, I know wherein lays, a good solid foundation. So, those couple of people, much respect. Not long ago I had over 200 people on my friends list. Now I have 33. What does that tell you? I have a GoFundMe. One person helps out. Everybody else ignores it. So what are you telling me? Not only do you hate me, that you enjoy to watch somebody suffer, huh? To go without eating, to go without taking care of things. Is there a party planned for my demise that I don't know about? Let me know. I find out new things about myself every day. Let me know. Is there a Deadpool going? Somebody got a bat? What day? What year? What month? Come on. That's what you all show me. Or does anybody show me any different? Tell me about it. I love my father. My father loved me. Any of you allowing, for this to go on any further, you should all be ashamed of yourselves. You should all be ashamed of yourselves, really. You should be. Yep. You really should be. I hope that you have all had a really good time. Not trying to step on, belittle, knock down, whatever, or just hope for you it was fun. But know that I love my father. My father loved me. I do anything at all for my family. I've gone to bat against the entire village for this boy. I'm bullying. I've gone against the school over disciplinary issues, some that he did have, some that he didn't. Anybody want to call me self-centered, narcissistic? Anybody? You go ahead. But I am not. And that I loved my father, I did anything that I could for him. Anything whatsoever. I mowed yards, kept up his landscaping. I tried to keep his property from being destroyed. The neighbors told me straight out that they wanted it, that they were trying to get it. Thanks to all of you, you let it happen. Congratulations, you should be proud of yourselves, huh? Why don't you all take a little bow, Because I know you all are going to. I know that you are all sitting there, watching the video with your middle fingers up. I get it. I get it. Remember this. The ending of the story, it hasn't been written yet. I'll see y'all again on the next video. Bye.